You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Welcome to Rom Wills About That Business. Hang with other business people. I'm going to tell you what, this is going to be like kind of short and sweet. But if you in business, it's very important that you hang with other people who are in business as well. It's very important. Because I'm going to tell you why. See, and this is something I've talked about constantly. I've talked about this before. Sometimes you have a lot of people, and they'll have steady jobs around you. Or it could be your family members. It's people who generally care about you, but they're not entrepreneurial. They not in business. I'm going to tell you what, business is tough. Being in business is tough. I mean, the reality is the majority of people fail in business. And there's a lot of people who have a successful business now, but if you study their background or even have a conversation with them, they'll tell you, it's like, no, I failed at this, I had all this stuff. Like a very famous person, Colonel Sanders, who came up with Kentucky Fried Chicken. He failed a whole lot in business. I mean, that man was in his 60s when he got going. So that's most people. It took me a while to get a business that was really going well. Shoot, I got some stories too. So, and then, you doing that, but you get people around you who, they're well-meaning. They work regular jobs or they're family members or something. They'll say, hey, they'll constantly say, well, you need to get that steady job or this ain't going to work for you. And they're not really being mean. They're not being haters. That's the one thing. See, that's what makes it kind of interesting. They're not being haters. They just being concerned because they can only go or only talk about what they know. Because if you're around a person, they got a 9 to 5, but they had been in business before. They tend to be very supportive because they understand where you're coming from, and they probably waiting to get back into it themselves. But when you're dealing with people who haven't done that, it's tough. Now, the only way you can do that is try to be around other people. Just start slowly hanging around people who are in business themselves or working on a business. Even if they're not successful, hang around them anyway. Now, it's not like you following whatever they're doing for success because they're probably doing something different anyway. And you might not know the exact ins and outs of what they're doing, but the thing that you have in common with them is they are in business. They understand the sacrifice and everything. They can get all that. And the main thing they're not going to do is they're not going to hinder you. They're going to be encouraging. They're going to be like, hey, you got to keep going with it. Now, it's tough because, okay, first you're dealing with family members. All right, you don't want to cut them off. But it might have to get to a point where you have to say, okay, look, I love you, but this is something I'm going to do. We can't really talk about it. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, in some families, the person has to move on. It is what it is. Or you have to limit contact with them. It is what it is. And, and just real quick with the family, sometimes when you do succeed, those are the ones who come at you hard trying to borrow and everything. So that's almost another conversation. So the family, that's one thing. But when you look at friends, I'm going to tell you what, with friendship in general, you need to be around people who at the very least support where you're going. Every friendship ain't meant to last forever. Some are meant to last briefly. Like you know them, you talk to them, boom. Others are meant to last maybe, a little bit longer. And then some are for lifetimes. When you're in business, you need to be around as many people who got the same idea. And you don't have to be necessary. I mean, if they all successful business people, hey, that's great. But a lot of times people are at different levels. And some of them might even have like a job they're working on too. Hey, you probably have a job you're working on. But that's cool. As long as they understand that. You need to be around that same energy. And it's deeper than just what they're saying. It is the energy part The energy part is important because they understand the hustle. They know what it feels. They know not to talk about, oh yeah, just paying a steady thing. Or if you say, hey, you know what, I got some bill collectors calling me, they not going to say, oh, just get a regular job or something. They probably say, okay, this is what you got to do. You got to tell this one that, work it out with this one. And, you know, that's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. But try to be around. And see, that's one thing with me. Like, when I look at the people I consider closest to me, the males and females, all of them got some type of hustle. When I really look at it, I know very few people who I would consider close to me who got just regular jobs. Now, and then when I say really close, now I know some people got regular jobs, but they also got ambition to do something else. The ones I know who have regular jobs, they also have something on the side. But when I look at my closest, my inner circle, everybody got some hustle. Everybody got some business or something. So it's understand the energy's the same. So it's not interfering with my basic energy. And understanding that, I understand where I'm coming from too, because it's not just what I'm getting from them, but it's what I'm giving to them. I'm giving them encouragement. I'm saying, because I'm at a level of reasonable success now. I can always do better, but I say reasonable success. And so I'm talking to them and say, okay, yeah, this is what you got to do, man. This is what you got to do, or, you know, I'll help people or whatever. But very important, hang around other business people. So that's all I got for today. Let's go make that money.